One of the big myths surrounding motivation is that you just are motivated or you aren't motivated, right? Like today, oh, I'm just having a really motivated day. I'm just going after things. Or, oh no, today I'm just not really feeling it. But that's a problematic thing to believe, because actually motivation is something that you build into each day and that you create and you generate for yourself if you're so inclined. So if you're going through a period where you don't feel motivated, rest assured, it is there at your disposal. You just need to understand how to motivate yourself. And today I'm going to teach you an often overlooked way of using motivation and discovering motivation that will work when other forms of motivation won't. Hey, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Maddie Wolf. Here is where you are going to find resources, tips, tricks, tools, all designed to help you live your best life. And today we're looking at this idea of motivation, but specifically a way of generating motivation that often gets overlooked. We all know the power of having goals, and we all tend to know that when we're feeling a little bit undermotivated, we are supposed to just keep our eye on the prize, right? Like just keep going after that thing, because imagine how life is going to be when we finally achieve it. And that is a very powerful form of motivation, to really visualize what it's going to be like when you've achieved it. Okay. That is going to help you climb that mountain for sure, to imagine the feeling, the elevation that you're going to have when you have accomplished it. So that can help you get through the trickier patches, but it's not the only thing. And the problem with using that form of motivation is sometimes, especially if you're right at the beginning of a particular journey, is that that's going to feel so far off. It's going to feel unattainable some days. And so instead of motivating you, it's going to feel daunting, because you can actually see the gulf between that thing that you're going after and where you are now. So if that's the only form of motivation you've been using, it's going to fall short sometimes. And the first thing you need to do is understand that that's okay and that's normal, and it's not a representative of a lack of your resolve or commitment to that goal. But what we can do is turn around and use this other form of motivation that is proven in the science of motivation to be just as powerful as looking ahead to that goal. Is we look back and see how far we've come. Now, this is especially useful if you're feeling like there is so much road left ahead of you. By looking back and following these 3 ways of using this form of motivation, you're going to be able to fuel yourself up to take that next step, to take that next leap. And by doing so, you're going to get closer to that end goal without worrying about how daunting the road ahead of you may feel. So I said we're going to go through these 3 ways of using this kind of backward-looking motivation, looking at how far you've come. And the first way is to get really specific. The way to do this is to ask yourself, what can I do today that I couldn't do a week ago, a month ago, a year ago? What can I do right now? And it can be in terms of the goal that you're actually trying to achieve. Like, how far have I come in the last week? How far have I come in the last month? How far have I come in the last year? If I think about where I was a year ago, look at how far I have come. And guys, the point of this is you are the future self right now, right today. You are the future self that a year ago you were looking towards for motivation. And just understanding that and getting really super specific about that fact is going to fuel your fire and going to fuel your resolve. The number 2 thing that you can do when you're using this form of motivation is to look outside of the specific goal that you're on and understand what you've accomplished in similar areas. Now, this is really powerful because this also ties into the whole notion of resilience and building strength. And the way we do this is look at, okay, the journey that I'm on right now, I haven't achieved it yet. I'm not there yet. And that's why we're having to use these motivation techniques. But if I look at other things I have achieved, similar things, or things that represented similar challenges, and I can point to that and go, look what I did last year. Look what I did 10 years ago. Look at this thing that happened in my past that I was able to overcome and achieve. Well, that is going to propel you forward if you really focus in on it and don't listen to the negative voices in your head saying, yeah, but that was different. Of course it was different, but it was still you overcoming challenges and achieving your goal. The third really powerful way to use this looking back form of motivation is that by tracking your journey so far, like from the point at which you made the goal to where you are now, you're going to be able to see that there were all sorts of pivots and shifts and turns that you made just to get where you are now. Like it wasn't a straight line. And I can say that with certainty because it's never going to be a straight line, because at the point at which we start making a goal, we don't know what's going to come up. And we have to navigate as best we can as we push forward. And by looking back and seeing the journey you've charted so far, you're able to see, oh yeah, I didn't see that thing coming, but this is how I got around that. Or, oh, I didn't know that it was going to pan out that way, but I've come around it from this side now. And by understanding and appreciating that you didn't take a direct line from the moment you made that goal to where you are now, you can understand and appreciate that it's not going to be a direct line forward either. Because when we go to achieve our goals, it is non-linear. It is going to sometimes feel really horizontal, not vertical. It's going to sometimes feel like we are taking one step forward and 5 steps back. And that's okay. And we can understand the okayness of that by looking back and seeing how far we've come. So if you are stuck and you feel unmotivated today, maybe you felt that way since you woke up, or maybe you felt that way for the last 6 months. Both of those things are okay. Generating your own motivation is one of the most empowering pursuits you can have. But don't get stuck thinking that it's only about looking forward. Use these 3 methods to look back and use your motivation to get you continuing towards that goal. Guys, that's what I've got for you today. Hit the subscribe button. Do make sure to check out the free resources in the description box below. That's my gift to you. All sorts of tips, tricks, tools that you can use to help you getting to living your best life. I'll see you again real soon.